Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In previous video, we already covered the site determination and general features of the radius bone. Today, we are going to explore the muscle attachment of the radius bone and its clinical anatomy. The radius, one of the two bones in the forearm, serves as an attachment site for number of muscles responsible for movements in the forearm and the hand. Attachment of these muscles enable the pronation, supination and flexion in the forearm and the wrist. At first, let's see the upper end of the radius. Biceps brachii muscle insert onto the rough posterior part of the radial tuberosity, responsible for the flexion of the elbow and supination of the forearm. Now, looking at the shaft of the radius, the upper third of the radial shaft is involved with the muscles controlling forearm rotation and thumb movement. Supinator muscle. This muscle inserts onto the upper part of the lateral surface of radius and helps in supination of the forearm. Flexor pollicis longus originates from the upper two-thirds of the anterior surface of radius and flexes the thumb. Flexor digitorum superficialis. The radial head of this muscle originates from the anterior oblique line. This muscle flexes the middle phalanges of the fingers. Pronator teres. This muscle inserts onto the rough area in mid portion of the lateral surface and pronates the forearm. Abductor pollicis longus originates from the middle third of the posterior surface and abducts the thumb. Extensor pollicis brevis. This muscle originates from the lower part of the posterior surface and extends the thumb. Now comes to the distal or the lower end of the radius. Styloid process serves as an attachment site for muscles that move the wrist. Brachioradialis. This muscle inserts onto the base of the styloid process and contributes to the elbow flexion. The anterior surface of the lower end involved with the pronation of the forearm. Pronator quadratus muscle insert on the lower one-fourth of the anterior surface of radius and act as a primary pronator of the forearm. Now let's talk about the clinical anatomy of the radius bone. Some common injuries and conditions that affect the radius bone include radial head fracture can occur due to a fall onto an outstretched hand. Distal radius fracture can occur due to a fall onto an outstretched hand or osteoporosis. Radial nerve palsy can cause weakness or paralysis of the muscle innervated by the radial nerve. Now let's test what we learned with some questions. Comment your answers below. Question number 1. Which muscle attached to the radial tuberosity? The correct answer will be biceps brachii. Which of the following is a common injury that can occur to the radius bone? The correct answer will be radial head fracture. Which muscle is responsible for supination of the forearm? The correct answer will be supinator muscle. What is the name of the muscle that attach to the lower end of the radius and help in pronation of the forearm? The correct answer will be pronator quadratus. Which nerve can be affected in radial nerve palsy? The correct answer will be radial nerve. What is the name of the fracture that occur at the lower end of the radius bone? The correct answer will be distal radius fracture. That's all for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.